Greetings to readers, viewers, and listeners, and welcome to this next edition of the Autistic Superblog's The Hot Take. This impromptu video is going to be celebrating the progress that we've made when it comes to Americans with Disabilities Act that passed 33 years ago today. Now, self advocates have all heard about the crawl up the White House, and we've probably all seen Crip Camp and movies of that nature that kind of explain what. And if you haven't seen those, if you haven't seen Crip Camp or Willowbrook: The Last Great Disgrace, I would definitely recommend it. I mean, uh, Willowbrook's a hard watch, but it also kind of explains just exactly how where we were versus where we are today. The ability for us to uh, be able to interact with the world in in a sit- in a setting where we're not kind of talked down to our peers. Um, I wanted just to I wanted to say this is totally unscripted for me. I just wanted to say that for me, seeing the disability community as I have it during my travels, I could say that there's been a lot of damage. There's been a lot of there's been a lot of setbacks and hardships. I've dealt with it before in my time, and I've seen it on others. But I also want to acknowledge the amazing things we've been able to do with the ADA in place. Um, we've been able to see a world built that's built as best as it can for people, for fellow spectrumites, and also other people with disabilities too. I feel like it's important to kind of bring that up because I want to just highlight two individuals that I feel need to be acknowledged during not only Disability Pride Month, but also today on this wonderful anniversary. One is someone that's going to be really personal for me. Dr. Temple Grandin, an amazing autistic engineer who just so happens to have autism, but also has helped, has made that career with her autism to kind of experiment, to kind of blossom that career into being a livestock engineer, but also someone that helps the autism community by the squeeze machine and other things of that nature. I feel like myself personally, I only felt a connection to her thanks to a dear friend of mine who I've mentioned before, the late Larry Burke, who's since passed away. Um, he was actually the one at the McDonald DeWitt Library at SUNY Ulster who really got me into reading by Temple Grandin and realizing that autism isn't a disability, but it could also be a gift in the same vein too. With my autistic burnout, I'm feeling that it's a blessing that my autism is a blessing and a curse. And sometimes it could feel more of a curse than a gift. Other times it's the other way around. But I also want to just say that it all started with Temple Grandin and her insights in the autism community and her feelings when it comes to the autism community. Um, Her contributions, which I cannot stress enough, are amazing. If you ever get a chance to see Temple Grandin, the movie, the autobiography of her work or biography of her work, it really is well done. And it really kind of brings the neurotypical into our world as fellow spectrumites. So I would definitely recommend that. I would also recommend, I would be remiss if I didn't mention GRASP, the Global and Regional Asperger's Syndrome Partnership or Autism Syndrome Partnership. Um, and I would not, I mean, the ADA, the ARC Hudson, the ARC New York, and the local autism society that's nationwide that I was a part of when it came to the board of directors. before things happened. And it showed us that we have to fight, but it also showed us how important our fight is, how important our voice is to other people. The other person I want to highlight just for right now is a blind individual by the name of Eddie Timanis. Any Jeopardy fan or any game show fan knows that name by heart because he was the first blind Jeopardy champion in game show history. And for, I mean, one of the things I admire about Eddie Timanis is how he was not willing to let his disability define him, but also make it real, but also make it, realize that he is blind, but at the same time that that he can work on equal footing with the other Jeopardy contestants at his level. Um, um, a a podcast that I listen to, This is Jeopardy, which is hosted by Buzzy Cohen, actually made light of this when Buzzy mentioned Eddie Timanis as one of his favorite Jeopardy champions, and I absolutely agree 100%. And as someone in the disability community, it really kind of shows you just, it really kind of inspires you to do a lot of great things in your life. It really makes you realize that just because the system, which is broken, says that you have to live above the poverty, below the poverty line, and things of that nature, and that you're dealing with glass ceilings and all that stuff. Um, Temple Grandin and Eddie Timanis really showed that that wasn't the case. That we can be good. That we can do great things if we believe in ourselves. And that's something that I'm struggling with every day. And just to my disability community, just to the disability community, I just want to let you all know that your lives matter, your voice matters, your feelings matter, that you matter in general. So I hope that this upwardly mobileness kind of continues when it comes to ADA. We've got a long way to go, but I think it's also important to celebrate our history and let other people know where we were prior to that. So um, I hope you all like my video on this one, dear viewers and listeners, and I just want to give a toast to the ADA. May it stand long, and may it stand for disability communities for all around. And if you like this video or like my videos in general, you can check me out here on the Autistic Super channel on YouTube. You can check me out on Instagram, and you can also check all my videos on the autisticsuperblog.wordpress.com. Stay safe, stay strong, be proud, and as always, shine on.